Hey guys, Theo from Refine Canine here with Owen. He's going to be helping me out and showing you guys how to use a touchpad. So a touchpad is a really great tool to teach a trick, but also to lead into more advanced obedience, such as healing, more advanced healing, those kinds of things. So this also is a confidence booster. It's great for dogs to feel like they've accomplished something. And I thought about this one because you can do it in a small space. So for those of us who are cooped up in our homes, in our apartments, this is a great thing that you can do. You can also get these sent to you, these pads, these touch pads. Really, it's just a rubber bowl. And the reason for a rubber bowl is because it is not going to slide around the same way a metal bowl would. So I like these. The ones that I have are not great, honestly. They're a little flimsy, so you see I have two of them put together. If your dog is larger and heavier, I would definitely recommend a 4-quart bowl. These are 2 quarts, so you know, just the circumference becomes a little bit larger. My dog can balance on this, but it doesn't mean he's really great at it. Start with something a little bit wider, and you can work your way down to something more narrow. Ultimately, the idea is to get the dog to have both feet on this, so they're balancing on it with their front end. We can also, you know, eventually go into more swiveling techniques and things like that. But for now, we're just going to go over the basic premises of how to approach using a tool like this. So I have an apron on, which is just a very standard waitressing apron full of treats. You can use something a little bit more heavy duty. I also have a denim one that I use when I'm working with puppies that are clawing all over me, that kind of thing. Or you can also just use your treat pouch, but you want to make sure it's easy to access so you can keep feeding really fast, because you want to mark the exact time that the dog actually touches this or touches anything around it initially. Most dogs are not going to want to come right up and put their feet on this. It's weird. They don't like to touch things that are not familiar, and let alone stand on them. So be patient with your dog as they struggle with that. Owen knows this really well, so I'm going to try to trick him out of doing the initial obedience that he's going to try to show you guys. So I'm going to just lure him. The other thing we want to talk about is food luring. So remembering that we are putting our food in between our thumb and our hand. So when we put it up to the dog, they will follow us just like that. That's your lure, okay? If that's the position that I want, I would say yes and open my hand. Remember, food in between the thumb and the rest of your palm, okay? So I'm gonna put this touchpad down. Owen's gonna go right to it. So what I would normally do with a new dog is lure them just with the food over this. Yes! As soon as he touches that with his foot, I wanna mark him yes and give him the food, okay? Clickers can be used in this situation, but it's much easier to have both of your hands to be able to lure the dog. So I like to just mark with yes. So lure, 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 yes! So let's just say that was the first time my dog ever touched it, was just that little paw, right? I want to make sure that they know that's exactly what I'm looking for. So when you're doing this, you might want to, you know, just kind of look to the side. Yes, is my dog touching it? Yes, good. Remember, we don't need to use the word touch initially, which again, they will eventually know, but you don't need to use that word initially. We want to make sure that we're just luring and marking the place that we want, okay? So I'm gonna do it again. Lure, 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 lure. Yes, good. Yes, good. Especially if I get those 2 feet up on there, I might double up on my reward, right? I really want them to know that that's exactly what I like and that it's not scary. So then eventually when my dog knows this, I can ask for no touch, right? So Owen, touch. Yes, whoops. I'm gonna mark that there. Yes, good, good. Touch. Yes. Good. And from here, once I really get it down, I might ask for some more advanced obedience. But if you guys are struggling, one thing that you can use is a wall to this side, right? So if you have a wall on one side, it's easier for the dog to maybe lean on it if they're getting a little worried and not try to keep turning around and doing different things. Makes the picture a little bit more simple for them. So again, I'm going to lure Owen off of this. Touch. Yes. So he's trying to do his advanced obedience, just sits in his downs. Omen sits. Yes, good. Free. Good. Touch. Yes, good boy. All right, guys, free. That's the touchpad, and if you have any questions about how to do this, or if you're having trouble with it, let me know. I'm also, like I said, I'm going to leave a link in the description so you can find these touchpads and have them sent to you. You know, don't go outside for anything unnecessary right now. Definitely have things sent to you. You can find things around the house to use as a touchpad. Just make sure it's rubber, doesn't slide around, it's fairly large in circumference, and get creative. Ultimately, you're just looking to mark that one behavior. So we'll start here and we'll get to more advanced stuff later, okay? Thanks so much for watching.